Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Build Muscle and Burn Fat podcast. Today I'm going to start this a little bit differently. Maybe the same as the last few, depends on when you listen to this. But I would love it if you could, let me say that again, I would love it if you could please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. I have seen that I've got roughly around 50 to 100 downloads per episode, which I'm 100% grateful for, and thank you so much for supporting me. But I've only got 7 reviews at this point in time. So if you could leave me a review, and I'm going to go straight to the episode right now. So today's episode is talking about your season. And I actually got inspired by this episode from a business podcast, which I listened to, hosted by Alex Hormozy. Now, for those of you who happen to be maybe in the same interest as me, yes, I love business, because this is why I'm doing things like this podcast and obviously coaching as well online. But I'm still doing this on the side, and it was talking about how you should be in your season of earn or learn. Now, to give you a bit of a short summary of his, and because I want to talk about what I want to talk about, the season of earn is making sure that you try and maximize the amount of money that you have, and the season of learn is trying to learn as many skills as possible so that you can actually, in the long term, go further with your career. Now, if you ask your boss for too much money at the start, you're probably going to be expected to get more work done, or you may actually potentially lose your job to someone else who can do it at a better rate. When you ask for learning opportunities, you have the skills to be able to take you further and you become somewhat irreplaceable. Now, that has no actual merit when we're talking about weight loss and fat loss, but if you think about it, everything is a skill, and I always tell people this. Everything in life is an experience and a skill, and if you can transfer it to where you are right now, this is going to help you out. So let's transfer this into your journey with fat loss. Are you currently in your season of learn, or are you in your current season of earn? So in this context here, we're going to talk about your season of learn. Your season of learn is about learning things in a greater amount. So you have lots of things that you have to learn first before you can start to get more precise with it. This may mean how to warm up, how to ask questions, how to do your check-ins with your coach, how to actually film, because then if you know how to film your exercises, then you then know how to review them. This could be things like learning about different types of foods, protein, carbs, and fats, learning about how to push yourself to your hardest, and on top of that, how to manage your time, and you should have a timetable if you haven't already. Those are small little soft skills, or hard skills, should I say. Those are small little hard skills that are going to take you to a great foundation, and then you can start to actually do that more and more to get more progress. Now, this is where people go wrong, and maybe this is a reflection of you and your career. You ask for a higher paycheck, not knowing what the actual job is going to be about. So, sitting from the other side as a coach and as also a previous business owner, trying to hire people, tell people you need to be in the season of learning first, not trying to push for your season of earning. So people out there who tend to want to lose, 20 kilos in 12 weeks, but don't actually understand what they need to learn. They need to learn their relationships with food, they need to learn time management, they need to learn communications, they need to learn how to do the exercises. If they don't know how to do those, what hope do they have of losing 20 kilos in 12 weeks? Maybe we can white knuckle it all the way through and start to just cheat our way around it. Maybe we'll start to go, you know what, I'm only going to eat steamed food for the next 7 days of the week and then continue on, and I'll lose amazing amounts of fat. But guess what? You're not actually learning anything because you're not living a realistic lifestyle. Your lifestyle needs to be something that you can do for a long period of time so you actually balance it long term, and you don't have to go through these, and I've seen them, massive amounts of guilt all along the way. So ask yourself right now, this will be a short podcast, but ask yourself right now, are you currently trying to learn something? Or are you just trying to white knuckle yourself through, demand something that you haven't quite earned yet? Are you trying to earn something? You have to make sure that you spend a good amount of time in your learning phases. Even for me right now, just to give you some perspective, I'm in year 14 of training. I'm still learning. Yeah, I've learned how to lunge, I've learned how to squat, and I've learned how to do this because I've put hard work at the start of my journey. But right now, I'm just trying to learn more about how do I maximize my lunge, because now I know the fundamentals of trying to keep balance. How am I trying to get more training in without affecting the fact that my balance with now my obviously busier lifestyle, being married and a house, how is that going to change? So for yourself out there, if you're listening to this, this is only a short one. Are you currently trying to be greedy with your earn, or are you still trying to invest in your learn? And don't take learn as an excuse to not push yourself in training, because you got to learn how to push yourself as well. So these are all certain factors that I would recommend for someone out there to listen to. Invest in yourself and start to take the time. Because if you're always chasing the next challenge, and I've covered this in the last few podcasts, I hate challenges that focus on weight loss in a certain amount of time. You don't actually learn anything. But in that 12 weeks, if you take it on board internally to go, hey, look, if I may not hit this goal, but I'm going to invest in making sure I learn how to eat, I learn how to train, I learn how to squat, I learn how to warm up, rather than monkey see, monkey do, you're going to go really, really far. And you're going to really far in life learning these things. Because every single time that I've hired a coach, I try to make sure I walk away going, I've learned at least 3 or 4 things that I can implement by myself, and I'll try and upskill myself some more. So hopefully for you out there, I know some of you out there are actually probably going through that part in your career where you're less learning so much. Take that mindset and put it into your health and fitness. Because yes, there's going to be work that's going to be done. But if you can do it properly in a shorter period of time, then you start to learn it and you can learn the next thing on top of that. All right, that's enough for today. This is probably my 4th podcast for the day. Thank you so much for listening, taking the time. I hope it helps you out, give you some perspective that I'm still learning too. So don't be afraid to learn. Take care, everyone, and keep building momentum.